I don't usually say much of anything, but I've been doing some historical research, stuff that's important to do, looking back at the way things have been done and looking at the foundations for where the way things that might be going. This is an interesting book. I'm not going to say that it's like a favorite book of mine or anything like that, but I have this thing with listening to perspectives. I don't necessarily take the perspectives on my own, but I listen to a variety of outlooks on one topic. And I still don't often make a solid decision because there's seems to be always more to learn. This book is Decision Points by George W. Bush. On page 22 here in the chapter called Quitting, I've got some highlighted information here. And it's kind of shocking. Taking a step back and just kind of looking at what's going on these days here in our country. So here we go. The lessons of Harvard Business School were reinforced by an unlikely source, a trip to visit mother and dad in China after graduation. The contrast was vivid. I had gone from the west point of capitalism to the eastern outpost of communism, from a republic of individual choice to a country where people all wore the same gray clothes. While riding my bike through the streets of Beijing, I occasionally saw a black limo with tinted windows that belonged to one of the party bigwigs. Otherwise, there were few cars and no signs of a free market. I was amazed to see how a country with such a rich history could be so bleak. In 1975, China was emerging from the Cultural Revolution, its government's effort to purify and revitalize society. Communist officials had set up indoctrination programs, broadcast propaganda over omnipresent loudspeakers, and sought to stamp out any evidence of China's ancient history. Mobs of young people lashed out against their elders and attacked the intellectual elite. The society was divided against itself and cascading into anarchy. China's experience reminded me of the French and Russian revolutions. The pattern was the same. People seized control by promising to promote certain ideals. Once they had consolidated power, they abused it, casting aside their beliefs and brutalizing their fellow citizens. It was as if mankind had a sickness that it kept inflicting on itself. The sobering thought deepened my conviction that freedom, economic, political, and religious, is the only fair and productive way of governing society. So my question is now, what happened?